Welcome to Jurassic Park.
30 years ago, scientists in the blockbuster Jurassic Park tell Ian Malcolm that the theme park is under control because all the dinosaurs there are bred to be female. Back then, Ian wasn't so sure about that.
But life finds a way.
And recently, just in time for Jurassic Park's anniversary, he was proven right by real scientists. Like the story in Jurassic Park, this one starts in Costa Rica. In 2018, workers at Parque Reptilandia found a clutch of 14 eggs in a crocodile enclosure, which in general wouldn't be a big deal, but when they held up a bright flashlight against the eggshells, they saw that one of the eggs was fertile. And inside there was a dead but fully developed baby crocodile. The scientists were stunned because the female has never been with a male before. The American crocodile has lived in isolation, so it was obvious that the fetus had no father. A DNA analysis confirmed that the female had produced an embryo containing only her genetic material. How is this possible? The answer is parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis is a type of asexual reproduction where an embryo develops without previous fertilization. In other words, females don't need a male to create offspring. For parthenogenesis to happen, a chain of cellular events has to unfold. First, the female needs to be able to create egg cells without stimulation from sperm or mating. Second, the eggs produced by the female need to begin to develop on their own, forming an early-stage embryo. Finally, the eggs must hatch successfully, which sadly didn't work out for the crocodile in Costa Rica. While this concept of virgin birth may sound bizarre to humans, it isn't all that rare in the animal kingdom. For example, it has already been observed in insects, snakes, lizards, sharks, and birds. Which brings up the question, why do animals reproduce asexually? Well, the reason is quite understandable. Mating can be exhausting. Courtship alone requires a lot of effort. Some individuals need to fight off competitors. Others need to build fancy houses. Some even form boy bands to attract a potential sex partner. These rituals can be really intensive. They often leave individuals exposed and can even be fatal. Parthenogenesis, on the other hand, just requires one parent. So, in short, it saves time and energy. One thing that's interesting is that virgin births don't necessarily mean the ladies are lacking mating opportunities. Even when there are males around, females may still use parthenogenesis. A few years ago, a female zebra shark hatched several young with DNA that didn't match any of the males in her aquarium. Perhaps she simply didn't fancy the males she lived with. Also, if environmental conditions are poor, asexual reproduction involves less effort than sexual reproduction, because the female doesn't need to waste resources finding a mate. Many cases of parthenogenesis have been discovered in geckos, snakes, and lizards that live in dry and harsh climates such as high altitudes. Mayflies can default to parthenogenesis, which is quite handy because some females live for less than 5 minutes. But as so often, a strong force also has a dark side. Parthenogenesis is characterized by a lack of genetic diversity, which can lead to harmful mutations and diseases. And that doesn't sound very healthy in the long run. Still, parthenogenesis plays an important role when population numbers need to grow fast in a short time. Okay, we already know that there are many badass single moms out there taking reproduction into their own hands. But we still need to figure one thing out. When parthenogenesis is nothing new, what makes this latest virgin birth so stunning that it crashed the news worldwide? Well, for a start, it's the first ever known case of a virgin birth in crocodiles. Secondly, the crocodile fetus from Costa Rica provided new clues about dinosex, or better, the possible absence of it. To understand this, we need to take a closer look at the tree of life. All the species highlighted here have recorded cases of virgin births. Here we have lizards and snakes, and here crocs. Following the lines, it's clear to see that crocodiles evolved way before these species. Birds came afterwards. And the dinosaurs were in between. Scientists already knew that birds are capable of parthenogenesis, and now they've learned that crocs are also on board. Which leads us to the question, did dinosaurs do it too? Well, sadly, we will never know. Parthenogenesis is best confirmed with DNA analysis, and dinosaur DNA doesn't exist in fossils. This makes it impossible to prove whether they were able to do it or not. But Warren Booth, the expert who led the research on the crocodile eggs, suggests it's very likely that they had the ability, and keeps it on Twitter like Ian Malcolm did in Jurassic Park. But obviously, even if they had the ability to do it, the asteroid that struck Earth 66 million years ago had other plans for their kind. Hey friends, don't forget to check out our new Wild to Know playlist. It's linked right here.